Alright, so this is how to invest into your trade binder. Some of y'all might already know the idea. Like, obviously your trade binder usually consists of stuff that you want to use as trades, because you're using trades as a form of currency. So you trade certain cards, certain cards that people want for cards that you want. Which is okay. I mean, it's part of the game. It's fun, to be able to trade with people, trade cards and stuff like that. The negotiating tactics that go with that is good practice for business. Like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, obviously trading will be one of those skills you'll need. But not a lot of people deliberately buy cards for the purpose of trading. Maybe in some shape, way, or form they kind of do. Like, somebody might be like, "Hey, I want that card," and if you trade, if you give me that card, I'll go online and order one of the cards you wanted online, and then have it sent to your house, or as soon as I get it, I'll come over and bring it to you or something. Like, friends among friends, right? You can do stuff like that with your friends, but on average, you're not going to do that with a total stranger or somebody you just met at a locals. You're trying to do some quick trades. You're trying to, get what you want and then keep it moving. And not trying to create a long time relationship with this person, right? You're just trying to get some cards and keep it moving. So I like the idea of looking for some really good, useful cards that can make. They're useful in cards, like useful in decks. Like, for example, let me use the Magic Bullets. Obviously, a lot of players are going to use certain cards in Magic Bullets. For example, Ties of Brethren is one of the tech options. Some people are trying to use what is it called? Tune table contents. Some people are trying to come up with some tech cards to put into the deck to make the deck more powerful, more consistent, and so on and so on. And but that's the obviousness, right? Those cards are obvious. A lot of people already putting out the idea of using those cards in those decks in the Magic Bullets. So instead, you look towards something else. You look towards something that isn't looked at as much, but would work just as good in Magic Bullets. For example, hypothetically, you might want to make Magic Bullets stronger. You don't want them to maintain their exact attack strength, so you might play something like Luminous Spark, which is a field spell that powers up all light monsters by 500. Not something I'm really, promoting. I'm not saying, hey, get that field spell, but it's something to take into account. I mean, you could play stuff like Burn the Mighty, make your opponent's monsters weaker, based off of your opponent's monster's level. That way, make it easier for you to run over their monsters and whatnot. Magic Bullets do have a quick play spell card that doubles the attack of a Magic Bullet monster. Since the deck is light, you could play Honest, right? But that's the kind of things you gotta think about. It's like, well, Honest is a good card, and it's a hand trap type card, so my opponent won't see it coming, because I'll have a couple Magic Bullet monsters on the field, and I have cards in my hand. They don't know if I have a spell. They don't know if I have a trap, and they definitely don't know if I have an Honest in my hand. You can invest in some Honests and hold on to them. You can go for high rarity, but this is not necessarily like investing in stuff that would be worth money. You know what I mean? You want to invest within your means, because the idea is to trade stuff for stuff, right? So you have to trade within your means. And if you don't have a lot of money for high rarity stuff, then you gotta go for some low rarity stuff. Get a whole bunch of it in bulk, and do a lot of trades to try to get the things you want. So again, you want to get a whole bunch of cards. TCG Player is a good place to get a whole bunch of cards for bulk, especially if you see value in certain cards. Like I said, you don't have to get the high rarity machine dupes. You could get the low rarity machine dupes, and then hold on to them, and then trade them, because there might be some people who want to play budget versions of Spirals. They'll want the machine dupes, right? Now you have the low rarity machine dupes that you can trade and get some stuff off of them. Because it's trade, you can get pretty high stuff. You can get stuff that's worth some money. Hypothetically, if you're good at trading, hypothetically, you could probably trade a playset of machine dupes, rare or common machine dupes, right? For like one masterpiece, if you're that good at trading, of course. But it depends on the situation. There are some people who are just like, I'm more interested in play value than money value. You know what I mean? So they will gladly trade you a masterpiece, which is what a $20 card right now, for like a play set of machine dupes, which might be a $6 play set, and that's as a common maybe. So that's something to take into account. Sometimes trading is not always exactly money value. A lot of times it's just playability. Some people like to look like quantity over quality. Quality would be money, quantity would be bulk, right? So they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll take those 2 places of machine dupe and I'll give you this masterpiece. Not a problem. That could happen, right? It's all about who you trade with, where you trade with, and so on and so on. Typically, you would do a lot of these trades in real life instead of online. Online tends to be a little bit more about the money, less about the playability. But in real life, you'll probably find people who just like, hey, I just want to finish this deck, I want to play this deck, so I have no problem trading this card that's in my binder that I just pulled from a pack 2 days ago that I don't really care for at all. It's just a card. All right, then that's the perfect person to trade with, right? You can get that nice masterpiece that you want. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is that you want to find cards that fits within your budget. You can get a whole bunch of for trade. This is more about investing into your trade binder, not into your pockets. You're putting money into your binder. You're not just grabbing all your spare cards you don't want and then try to essentially liquidate by trading them off, what you consider your junk cards, to other players to try to get some good cards. You can literally buy some good cards that are playable, people would want, for the purpose of getting the stuff that you want. So it's a good idea to have a really good trade binder. You can still bring some of your bulk junk, your non-wanted cards, because somebody might want them. One man's trash is another man's treasure, right? If you can get some high rarity stuff, hey, to each their own. You trade how you want to trade. I'm just pointing out the fact that you can try to trade a certain way. For example, finding a lot of reprints are the most common thing you'll try to buy. Because since the reprints, they tend to be lower cost, but they also obviously would be good cards, because if they were reprinted, they're more likely to be good cards. They're more likely to be reprints of stuff people wanted, people played. So obviously get reprints, and then trade off the reprints and whatnot. In case, let's say, you have a lot of the like original rarity cards, like you have the original cards from the original sets and stuff like that. Well, obviously those are things you should want to keep to yourself. You want to trade your reprints and hold on to your originals. Why not? And that's the end of the video.